And hello everybody, welcome back to British Stand. We've got a live stream, and to be fair, this is really shocking. The footage I'm starting to see circulate on social media and of course everywhere from Torre Pacheco in Spain is very bad. We've got countless footage to go through with you in today's live stream of North African migrants patrolling this town, attacking locals, and actually sometimes old men. A 70-year-old man was beaten up massively so, and the police apparently aren't doing anything about it. A familiar story, of course, of what we've seen in the UK when locals, Spanish patriots, were standing up for their town and trying to restore some order. They were the ones that were getting gaslighted and the ones that were blamed for the stuff. But we've got countless footage, and we're going to be going through what actually has happened in Spain. Of course, Tommy Robinson, a massive influence when it comes to social media, has been contacted by people on the ground, and actually Tommy Robinson has gave his reaction with regard to all of the ongoings in this Spanish town. It is pretty shocking, guys. I can't show all of the footage that is currently on social media because it's that bad. Some of the stuff on X I just can't show on YouTube. YouTube doesn't like sort of blood, doesn't like actual fights erupting, so I can't show those ones, but we will show you some footage from the scene. But guys, it is really bad on what's going on so far in Torre Pacheco with North African migrants, Moroccans, and the locals being attacked. So this is some footage of a fight. This is actually a video. I could only take a screenshot. You can see some guy there laying down on the ground after being beaten. But essentially, yeah, massive fights erupting, brawls erupting there. And as I said, I can't show that video because the video would just get taken down straight away. You've also got Tommy Robinson, of course, documenting on it. And he shared this video. Again, I can't show this video. We will get to the video footage soon, guys, of the stuff I can show. But essentially, North African migrants filmed themselves attacking lone Spaniards in Torre Pacheco, and one can be heard in this in particular video saying, "Let them kill him." And Tommy has said civil war is brewing in Spain. And then, of course, we'll get to his reaction in a minute in terms of the video footage momentarily. But here's a message from one of the locals on the ground. He said, "I'm from Torre Pacheco. You're giving wrong information in respect to the following. The North African invaders are not attacking the police. The police is doing nothing to stop them, so they are not being attacked. We are totally sold from the state and their police departments, military units. There are multiple videos of police officers just walking amongst big groups and masked Moroccans with machetes, etc., running to hunt Spaniards." Now, if you think this is an over-exaggeration, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get to the video footage in a second, but here's some more media outlets, of course, covering the story. 2 Spaniards have been wounded after being hit in the face by rocks thrown by Moroccan migrants in Torre Pacheco in southeastern Spain. Ethnic clashes have been taking place there since some Moroccans beat up a 70-year-old man for fun 3 days ago. So essentially what's going on is these guys are just cutting about, beating people up for fun, videoing it on social media, and then of course the ethnic clashes have started due to the Spanish patriots standing up for themselves and their town, and that's why it's going, all hell is breaking loose. But let's get some of the video footage that we are allowed to show here on YouTube.
Lo matan.
As you can see, rocks and all of the rest of it being thrown around. Here's some more footage. Oh, sorry.
فيديوها البوليسيه ما قدش يدير معاهم شغل هذا هو خيرهم
So as stated, war is literally erupting in this small Spanish town. And again, guys, you will see on X some really, really shocking videos and photos. I can't show them on YouTube, otherwise I will never be able to get the message out there because it'll just get taken down straight away. It's far too violent for YouTube. I suppose you know where to go if you really need to see it. But yeah, this is what Tommy Robinson, he's been a bit of a middleman with regard to this. He's doing a lot to try and bring this story, because he's getting a lot of, with his influence, he's getting a lot of information from people on the ground in Spain, and essentially what people are saying. And this is his reaction to this.
So I've received messages from the lad who was violently beaten in this video, and guess what? Just the same as the UK. Any Spanish nationalists and patriots that turned up were stopped, searched, detained, blocked from walking down any road. So the usual kettling tactics. Whilst the Muslim migrants were given free rein to run around with weapons, machetes, sticks, poles, bats, just roam the streets to attack people. Does anyone recognise that? Do you recognise exactly the same as what happened in last summer? As Muslims armed with weapons were allowed in every city to roam freely, with the police saying, "Oh, all right, lads, just quickly put your weapons back in the mosque." Well, that is exactly what has happened yesterday in Spain. It's the same MO. It's police forces that are terrified of the Islamic invaders. Insanity. And that attitude of the police comes from the government body above them. Because we all know that the major high-ranking police officers are just puppet politicians nowadays. Yeah? Like Mark Rowley in London, they're just politicians. They're the same shit. They're chosen, and then if you had, for example, if Spain had Vox as a political party, do you think the police would be freely allowing Muslim migrants to run around with weapons and machetes and attack Spanish people? Do you think they'd be kettling and harassing and persecuting and targeting the Spanish patriots? It's all down to who's governing us, even the way we're policed, every single part of it.
So as Tommy said, it's pretty much familiar of what was happening pretty much this time last year, following the sort of Southport killings, or the Southport killer and the Southport riots following that, where essentially, you know, there was rioting, but one side, of course, was scapegoated for absolutely everything. But we're seeing the footage on social media, we're seeing it on X, we're actually seeing it being documented of these North African migrants, of course, actually going around and attacking people, and actually videoing themselves beating the F out of old men. You know, 70-year-old guy, there's a guy there covered in blood on X after he was just beat up randomly by these North African migrants, individuals coming from Morocco. And I'm seeing a lot of comments already here in the live chat stating about Spain not wanting tourism, and they've chose this. Guys, this is modern day Europe. This is what modern day Europe is like. We've seen it in the UK over the summer as well. But I do certainly believe Spain, France, other countries, Germany, are a lot further ahead than we are in terms of their countries are a hellhole, especially France, by the way. France is struggling to get to grips with their mass amounts of problems, by the way. And Spain looks like as well, we're starting to see a lot come out of Spain over the last couple of weeks as well. But I do think this is a sign for what's more to come within the United Kingdom. We've got an island, whilst we have loads of people coming across on boats on a day-to-day basis, they're just having these people just come straight into the country, and that's where they're settling. So I do think they're a few years ahead of us in terms of what's to come. And certainly when I speak of France and Spain, it doesn't look good at all. It's pretty crazy. Eric says Europe is dying. Spain just insinuated rules for staying and lodging in Spain. I've stopped walking the Caminos there. The Spanish police were quick enough to use excessive violence in Catalonia a few years ago, weren't they? Well, it's always the same. So if you're a patriot of some sort, you're always the ones that scapegoated in the media. We've seen it with the UK last year. We literally seen it firsthand. We lived and breathed it. So it's a similar thing that always happens across Europe as well. It's the people that are far right. These people that are racist will always be on the front page of the newspapers and saying that this was the reason. But the reason wasn't because of that. These individuals were cutting about and just dropping people for social media clicks. I don't know too much about Spain as such, you know. I'm not well versed with it. I'm not I don't go out there too often. I did see some of the protests from Mallorca, where the locals were going out and saying tourists go home, we don't want tourism and all these kind of things. But obviously, I don't think that's everyone. That speaks for everybody in Spain. But certainly, they'd probably rather tourism than mass illegal migration, or even mass migration from the third world. Sad to see. But yeah, guys, sorry I haven't been that active over the last couple of days. I had to take the weekend off, kind of, so it was just a little bit of content. But we're back, of course, normal proceedings for the rest of the month. I haven't got anything planned. So if anything does kick off like this, then be sure we will cover it, and all of the sort of stuff that's ongoing within Britain as well. So please do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll be back later for some